This was the last time that a club other than Bayern celebrated winning the German Bundesliga. Borussia Dortmund, 10 years ago, when Dortmund's Klopp, Lewandowski, Götze and friends won the double. Nice, huh? But tragic. Because it marked the end of the Bundesliga as one of the most exciting leagues in the world. Because after this, it was always Bayern Munich. Like a skipping record. A whole decade of Bayern wins, which was nice for them, but made football fans yawn. And pundits scold.
9 times in a row. That is embarrassing for German football.
Actually, 10 times in Arge. So often that our comment section is now full of people calling Germany's top league boring Bundesliga. And people ask, how did we get here? And who made the Bundesliga so boring? It's actually not long ago that the German top tier was one of the most exciting. No other big European league had more different champions than the Bundesliga. From the year of its founding in 1963, 12 different clubs lifted that salad bowl. In the same period, only 6 clubs managed to win Spain's La Liga. But of the top European leagues, Germany was up there with Italy, England and France, all of which had 12 different champions. Don't get me wrong, Bayern were always the club to beat in Germany. When a bored-looking Manuel Neuer recently lifted the trophy on Marienplatz, it was the 32nd time Bayern had done it. Here's the first time, from 1969. But here's the thing. There has been a clear trend over the past 30 years or so. For a long time, every now and then, other clubs had their little eras of success. Gladbach in the 70s, Hamburg in the 80s, Dortmund in the 90s. But year after year, the frequency of Bayern's championship wins increased. Bayern became the default champions, and titles for other teams became the exception, rare specks of dirt. That the two Bayern bosses, former player Uli Hoeneß and attacking partner Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, could easily tolerate and brush off. Most important, over the years, Uli and Kalle had made their club the German sports brand. Everybody knew Bayern was number one forever. Until this happened. Bayern didn't even see it coming. Borussia Dortmund, a club that had spent years in the mid-regions of the league, suddenly rolled over the Bundesliga in 2010. 2 guys named Aki and Susi had taken the club from the edge of bankruptcy to suddenly dominating the league. BVB became the Bayern boss's nightmare. Faster than Uli and Kalle could say Mir Samir, their new rivals became what we in Germany call the Herbstmeister, the league leaders at the winter break. They did it 3 rounds before the end of the first half of the season. No one had ever achieved that earlier. And that wasn't the last blow for Bayern. Dortmund also sealed the title weeks before the end of the season. Even worse, they did it with a team of kids and nobodies. Worse still, the man Aki and Susi hired for manager was the same guy Bayern had thought of hiring 2 years before.
Ich habe mit Uli Hoeneß telefoniert, na klar. Also er mit mir, ich habe seine Nummer nicht. War unbekannter Teilnehmer, er hatte Glück, dass ich überhaupt rangegangen bin, ist meiner Meinung.
Before they pulled out and bet on a different horse. And while Bayern soon sacked Jürgen Klinsmann for not having a clue about football, the other Jürgen, Klopp, invented his own style of football in Dortmund. His gegenpressing blew away opponents, including Bayern themselves. But by far the worst thing for Bayern was the effect it all had beyond the football. People loved Dortmund. The Südtribüne, the whole workers' flair. They brought the echte Liebe. The slogan means real love. Dortmund became the alternative to Bayern, the cooler one. Polls showed the club was suddenly more popular than Bayern. Economists calculated that the brand champion now was Dortmund, not Bayern. It couldn't get any worse for Bayern, could it? Oh yes, it could. Because BVB did it again. the following year and doubled down. They won the cup with a whooping 5-2 final win against, that's right, Bayern. And they won the Meisterschaft with more points than any other club had ever achieved. Now, for 2 long years, Dortmund had humiliated Bayern and had made the Bundesliga very exciting. Dortmund's chairman told me back then,
dafür haben wir zum Beispiel eine spannende Bundesliga. In England weißt du doch schon vor der Saison genau, welche 4 Clubs an ersten 4 Positionen stehen. Also da lobe ich mir wirklich unsere Liga.
And he was right. Back then, Dortmund had made the Bundesliga exciting by pushing Bayern off the throne. But that was also the decisive step in making it utterly boring forever. In May 2013, both clubs reached the Champions League final at Wembley. The Bayern bosses Uli and Kalle thought, no more.
Keiner hat ein Wort gesagt. Wir wussten ganz genau, dieses Spiel müssen wir gewinnen, egal was passiert. Weil dieses Spiel, da müssen wir einfach zeigen, dass wir nicht nur in Europa der Beste sind, sondern auch in Deutschland der Beste sind.
And they did it. On the 19th of May 2013, the magic of the cheeky Dortmunders was over, and Bayern were freed from their state of shock.
Von dem Tag an war es auch irgendwie wie so ein Selbstläufer. Das Selbstbewusstsein war wieder da.
They intensified the arms race, hired the best managers in the world, the best players, and to be on the safe side, looted Dortmund and bought their success. The key players, Götze, Hummels and Lewandowski, soon wore red, and just as importantly, no longer yellow. With this, Bayern sent the message, never again. But there was something else that helped Bayern crush their national competition. This all happened at exactly the right time and place, as international football got richer and richer. The Bundesliga, not so much. As Germany's big international player, Bayern racked up riches that other German clubs couldn't. Take the Champions League alone. 55.05 million euros in prize money and television revenues for their 2013 victory already sounds impressive. By the time they won it again in 2020, the booty had grown to 130 million. I could go on about Bundesliga broadcasting rights, where Bayern earned 3 times as much as the smallest club gets. Or I could talk about sponsorship deals, which are getting bigger as companies' desire to get into European football spotlight increases. But maybe above all, Bayern could and still can count on something that top dogs in other leagues don't have: the German 50+1 rule. It keeps foreign investors from buying German clubs and thus from strengthening Bayern's opponents. So, while the past decade saw sheikhs and oligarchs and whole countries buy football clubs all over Europe and turn competition upside down, Bayern could and can be sure no one will make Hamburg or Schalke or Frankfurt rich. All this despite the fact that Bayern itself is against 50+1. The new Bayern boss Oli Kahn wants a top-class league. You can assume that our competition could become stronger if the 50+1 rule falls. But the rule still exists, and Bayern remain the only competitive German club in the Champions League. German football romanticism keeps Bayern supreme. In fact, it makes them ever more supreme. So, who made the Bundesliga boring? I like to think it was these guys' fault. We made a big mistake. We irritated you too much, Aki told Kalle later. Dortmund had given them a wake-up call that is still ringing in their ears 10 years on. And Bayern Munich is no longer satisfied with becoming Deutscher Meister more often than anyone else. Now, they need to win it every year. They will have to do a lot wrong to fall from this throne. But maybe Dortmund's Watzke is right once again when he predicts a fall for Bayern.
Irgendwann wird es die nächsten Jahre, kommt es zum Einsturz irgendwann mal. Ich glaube, dass innerhalb der nächsten 3 Jahre was passiert. Das ist so mein Gefühl, weil nichts ist für die Ewigkeit.
So, what do you think? Will the Bundesliga remain the boring Bundesliga? Go berserk in the comments.